Welcome to another lesson on the subject of environment. Today's lesson will be about material certifications, specifically textile material certifications, its possibilities, but also its limitations. Hello, I'm Cherie Berkner and I will be your host today. Our goal for this lesson is to be able to understand textile certifications, be able to read critically, and understand why textile certifications can be one great step, but not necessarily a solution for every problem in the textile industry. Why textile certification is so important, you may ask? It plays a major role in the orientation and improvement process of garments. But it's also increasingly difficult to distinguish between credible labels and greenwashing. This lesson will help you distinguish the labels and understand these challenges much better. Please read through the structure of this lesson carefully and follow the outline step by step. Find all material you need for this lesson on fashionrevolution.org. In this lesson, you will be introduced to the topic with a hands-on experiment for you to reflect on, and you will be provided with further information and credible resources to continue to educate yourself. For this part, look into your wardrobe, pick for example 20 items out, look at their textile labels, and see what information you can find out. Are there any certifications? So the thing is, even if, let's say, the material is mostly out of cotton and that cotton is certified, it may not say that in the label, because for a product to have the certification inside of the label, the entire product needs to be certified. So let's say even the thread doesn't have the certification, then that t-shirt is not able to put the certification into the label, although most of the t-shirt is a certified product. For this, you can go onto the website of the brand you have bought from and check the information there. Most responsible brands will have a very good description of their sustainability standards and also be able to show on their website what certifications they're working with. So to make an overview for yourself, you can set up an Excel sheet or just write down in a notepad what certifications have you found and see what you can find out about them. If you don't find any certifications in your clothes, that's okay. But now maybe moving forward, this is something you want to be thinking about and having more of in your wardrobe. So the next time you go shopping at the store, you can ask the employees, do you have certified clothing? Do you have organic cotton? Do you have fairly produced items? And see if they have this knowledge, if they can help you. And sometimes, personal tip, it's just good to go into a store and ask, even if you know they don't, and just let them know you care. The sad truth is, the textile industry has a crucial impact on our environment. The supply chain of clothes is complex and can be very overwhelming. Maybe you've seen pictures of people working in exploitative conditions in factories, of colored rivers, or even collapsed buildings where people were working. How do the environmental impacts affect the surrounding areas, habitats, and communities? Do you think that the people who have sewn our clothes have a good life? In earlier steps, you were introduced to the challenges along the supply chain and certifications as a possible solution for those issues. Every piece of clothing has a beginning, a production phase, a consumption phase, and an end-of-life cycle. This could also be a recycling phase, but it's not always the case. All of these tiers have a strong impact, and more often than less, a negative one on the environment and on the people involved in the supply chain. What we can do to reduce the negative impact? Good question. Also, complicated question because the answer is not so black and white, but there are many approaches we can take. Most likely, we need to change the system from many angles. Imagine the textile industry as a puzzle. Every piece provides us options and has an impact on the bigger picture. That also means that changes to every small piece on the puzzle has an impact on the bigger picture. Now, when we translate this to the textile industry, we come to the conclusion that every step along the supply chain matters. Certifications act on every step of the supply chain. They try to improve the conditions for the environment and for everybody involved in the supply chain. They might help professionals to better orientate themselves within the industry, for example, when they're buying fabrics for their new collections, but also us consumers to know what we actually are supporting when we're buying these products. The problem is that some certifications have lower standards, are driven by economic interests rather than environmental and social interests, and can be very hard to understand. For example, there are certifications that are business-led and do not hold the environment and the people at their highest priority. Their credibility is weak because their interests may not be independent from economic, profit-driven decisions. Often they exaggerate their actions by using very nice words and pictures and summarize or round up their business initiatives in a very appealing way for consumers. These are just a few signs that a business or a brand are using a tactic called greenwashing. These certifications or initiatives are often called business compliance initiatives, or known as BCI. Multi-stakeholder initiatives, on the other hand, MSI, have a more holistic and credible impact. These initiatives often involve a variety of interests and needs, often involving more neutral stakeholders. For example, what we like is when workers, unions, NGOs, scientists, and politicians work together on certifications. Once you have found credible certifications, this will help you in your further fair fashion ventures. Once you have found the certifications that match your values, you will have a much easier time with your fair fashion decisions. It can be a bit of work to read into, but maybe you already know of some shops that have a curated selection of only fair and eco fashion. Maybe you can list what these are. The resources on our planet are limited. With our overconsumption of clothes, we are exploiting the planet and the people along the textile supply chain. Fast fashion has a horrible impact on the planet and us people. What's most important to you? The planet or the people or both? Take a minute and write down the answers to this question. Then write down why. Based on your decision, there are different certifications that can be recommended because they are credible, independent, and with the trustful MSI in the background. Thinking about our previous exercises, can you now identify certain labels or certifications that will help you the next time you go shopping? Do you know what to look for the next time you go shopping? Here are two suggestions. For everyone who thinks the environment needs the most support, Global Organic Textile Standard. For everyone who thinks workers need the most support, Fair Wear Foundation. For further information, have a look at our show notes below or check out our website on fashionrevolution.org. Thank you for going through this lesson with me, and happy to see you next time.